overdose vapes. Keep your wicks wet and your coils tight. If you're looking for new flavors and all about the clouds, bro, filling up a clear road, we're dripping on the sub-ohm reviews for that juice. While Trav and Josh host, view it on YouTube and prepare for overdose.
Hello and welcome back to OverDoseVapes.
What's up, people? We doing a little something different today.
Yeah, you know, you guys probably know us mostly for juice reviews, but we do want to branch out more and more. We've been saying this for a long time.
Yes.
But we do want to branch out more and more to hardware. We had the opportunity, a company called Gearbest, you might know them. They're quite infamous amongst some circles.
Yeah.
They sent us a message and wanted to send us out a product, and so I picked the Bellus.
Bellus!
RTA, because Josh already had one. And so I thought, you know, why not get something we both had? That way we can both have experience and we can both talk about it.
And it's a product from UD.
It's a product from UD, which we love UD
We
products.
love UD.
They make amazing products.
The Goblin, the Goliath.
Yep.
For a short time. And now, the Bellus.
The Bellus.
Yeah, buddy. So we do it a little different. We're going to kind of sit here, bullshit. Just talk about it, talk about ins and outs and pros and cons, and then Travis will take you through the up close, kind of show you the deck, some things like that, and that's kind of how we do it.
Yeah. At the end, we're going to talk for a while, but then at the end, we'll cut and I will show you guys all the up close, the unboxing, the ins and outs of the device.
Straight up.
So, but at first, you know, I want to say that we've actually had experience with Gearbest before that wasn't the best experience. I just want to put that, you know, God bless them for sending this out. We do appreciate them sending this out, but it's a company from overseas.
And let's say it was long over a year ago.
It was way over a year ago.
Yeah, he had made an order, right?
Yep.
And it took
3 months.
It took 3 months.
So I know it's a Fast Tech type company. They sell tons of different stuff, just like Fast Tech. It's not just vape gear.
Great prices.
Great prices. And so that we did get the product. It just took a while.
And so if you're in a hurry, you might not want to get it from Gearbest. But if you don't mind waiting a little while, if it's like say, hey, I need another Bellus because, you know, I might just break this. I want to back up. Grab one of those.
Yeah,
it might take a month. What did it take us for them sending this stuff out? 3 weeks?
3 weeks.
3 weeks to a month. So they might have fixed it. That was the point of me telling you that it was well over a year ago that we did that.
Absolutely.
We haven't ordered anything in the last year, so we don't know about that.
And you know what? When we did have problems with them, they were actually very responsive when I would file complaints about it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They were definitely communicating with us. It's not like they just blacked us out.
Just ignored us. Yeah.
So you know, and I don't want to discourage you from ordering from them. I just want you to be aware that it could take a while. That's all.
Right.
Okay. So that's my speech done.
What do you got in your Bellus?
In the Bellus, I am rocking a juice that I bought here locally. It is called, it's from WorldStar Vape. It's called Virgo. It is a strawberry cheesecake.
Strawberry cheesecake.
We'll probably review it later because Josh also has a bottle from WorldStar.
I do. Like they're strawberry milk. So we do
Okay.
both. They're you know, $120 for 40 bucks. So we checked them out. I have Pancake Man in mine. Freshly reviewed. You might see it up. If not, go check it out. Pancake Man.
Yeah, Pancake Man is a good juice. Spoilers, the video will probably already be up. So
Yeah.
So let's talk about it.
Airflow, baby.
It does have airflow for days.
Got airflow for days. Got wickability. Real fucking easy to wick. I mean, it'd be hard to fuck it up.
It would be hard to fuck it up.
Right.
It has a really unique way that it delivers juice to the wick.
It's It had the space where the juice comes in is so long and it's narrow, but it's long, and so you have literally milliliters just sitting on your cotton waiting to be sucked.
It's basically gravity fed.
Yeah.
All this juice is basically just sitting on the coils. The coils are right here. I mean, you can literally, if I took off this airflow control ring, you can see your coils.
You can see them. They're right there on the airflow. So you're getting air to the coil, boom, right now.
And it's so much different than most tanks because here I have some other tanks.
They go up or they go...
Or that the fucking coils are actually in... You know, they're covered, but they're in the middle of the tank.
They're encased.
Yeah, and that's how it works for, I would say, 99.9% of tanks.
Especially rebuildables.
Especially rebuildables.
Yeah.
But with this one, for some reason, the juice just is able to sit there. It doesn't. I've had no leaking. Ever.
No.
Which is amazing to me because the coils are just exposed.
And I mean, the only even like leaking you can say is if maybe your coil or your wicks are a little too wet. You put everything together, and there's just a little bit of extra juice in there, but you take a couple of vapes, it's gone.
Yeah.
And then from there on, You lay it down. That's my big thing, because I don't keep my shit straight up. I'm on my bed, I'm on my couch. My shit just, it goes where I want it to go, and no leaking. I love that.
The only downside I've had so far is the deck is actually pretty restrictive to build on. I had to like push my coils pretty much all the way up against the posts to get them to fit.
It's hard to go larger than 2.5.
It really is.
It is. You're gonna have a tough time getting a 3 in there.
And it's just hard to fit. You know, basically, but if you're not doing normal micro coils, you're gonna have a lot of trouble with twisteds. You're gonna have a lot of trouble with Claptons. I actually do have some twisted coils in here, but it was a bitch to get in there. And I could only do, I think, 3 or 4 wraps, and it, you know.
Yeah. The deck's not the biggest.
Yeah, it's not the biggest, but
It's not.
I am able to vape it at around 60 watts, between 60 and 65, comfortably without getting any kind of dry hits.
Right.
But anything over that, I am starting to get a little bit of dry hits.
And that makes sense in a rebuildable
No,
tank.
absolutely. But nowadays there are other rebuildable tanks that I have access to, like the mutation tank, or here's the mutation tank right here. I can rock that actually up to 80 watts. So we're getting higher and higher with our rebuildables. I remember when rebuildables like the Orchid, you could go 20 watts. Yeah. And then you're getting burnt. You're
watch
getting
it
hits.
Yeah, for like 2 hits, and then you had to kick it to 18, baby.
So I can pretty much power fucking vape this Bellus tank at 60 watts comfortably. I'm happy with that performance. I'm absolutely happy with that performance.
Yeah, I have no problem with the looks of it. It's a great looking tank. There is always, no matter what you put it on, there's a slight. I mean, it just doesn't sit flush. It just doesn't.
No, you're right. Even on my M class here, it's
nothing
not
I put it on
totally flush.
does it sit completely flush, and I'm not exactly sure.
Mine's not as extreme as yours.
No, it's not.
But it's still there.
Because the MX has this nice lip, and so you can't see it as much. But this thing, and my batteries are charging for the Rouleau, so I didn't bring it today. So I'm on the Faux. But it's real sharp. I mean, because you can see it, because it's just cut off. It's very. So if that bothers you, that's something.
Yeah, if you have OCD about that kind of shit, it's gonna bother you bad.
To me, it's about the vape. Because I don't maybe rebuild my coils maybe once every 2 months. I mean, for a tank, and I just love the fucking vape. It's just so easy. Got that top fill.
The top fill's awesome.
And the top empty. I love that when I get halfway through a tank and you're like, I feel like something else. I pop the fucking bottle open and pour that shit right back in, man. I love that. Because there's a lot of juice that I've dumped.
And it has and you know what? It's genius because it has these 2 holes. Because a lot of other of these top fill tanks, they just build up pressure.
The one hole.
The one hole.
It's hard to get. Yeah, no, it works flawlessly.
And you can fill this one up all the way to the top, and you're not going to get any juice being leaked out at the bottom.
The design is flawless.
Totally flawless.
I mean,
I give it to UD for that.
It has the rifling. I don't know how much difference that makes, but it does have the rifling inside. No, actually, and it goes all the way.
Really?
Through the whole. If you got a light, it goes all the way through. So there's rifling.
We don't know what that does for sure, but
I've read that it's just less resistance, and so you can get more vape, and it's just smoother.
I just got a dry hit like a motherfucker.
Did you?
Yeah. Oh my god.
At what?
61 watts. Yeah, I think that I had.
I rarely go like that high.
I think that I just didn't have enough juice going to the coils. I think that was user error.
Yeah. If you're using real thick juice, you might not want to go to if it's, if your tank's pretty low and you have it on its side, you might want to be careful of that. Because it wicks so good that it's going to unwick pretty good too. I mean, it's perfect.
It was user error. I had the airflow control totally closed off, and I hit it at 60 watts, and so I got a very hot hit.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. So it's working just fine again now.
There's a lot of pieces to it.
That's what I was gonna say. It's a little complicated. When I first got it and took it all apart, I was like, "God damn, it's a lot of."
I think there's 6 or 7 pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think 1, 2.
It's not the simplest device to put together, but once you get it together, I mean, it works flawlessly.
And you'll learn it. I mean, you literally watch one video, or you watch Travis's video later putting it together, and that's it. I mean, it's really easy.
It is easy.
It looks way more complicated, like when the pieces are just out and you're like drying them off. You're like, what the fuck is all this shit? Because I went from what was my last fucking tank? Not the Goliath.
Goblin?
It was the Goblin, yeah, I gave you the Goliath. So it was the Goblin, and that's like 3 pieces. It's like bing, bang, boom.
Yeah.
But so that's something, but you'll get past that real quick.
And I really love the looks of it.
Oh,
it has a great look. It's very elegant, and Yeah.
And the air holes, I think that's a cool effect.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I thought about this when I got it, and I'd never thought about it before, of course. But sucking stuff in. I mean, because you are just in the world sucking air into into an addy. So I mean, you could get particles, dust particles, little leaf particles, that kind of shit. And it does have like a little screen where you're not gonna get that.
A little bit. Yeah.
I had never thought about it before. But when I got it, I was like, that might be kind of a cool.
I don't know if yours does this, but my airflow control ring actually spins pretty badly.
No, mine doesn't.
So that's one flaw that I've seen in mine.
This one's all the way tightened
yeah,
up.
it's tightened. Yeah.
So I have that problem sometimes. This one gets a little loose, and I have to tighten it back up.
So actually, sometimes it will.
Yeah,
it will slide and then close off my airflow, and I'll get a dry, like a burnt hit, like I just got before. So
that is a pain in the ass.
Yeah. That could just be
I've
this
been real
unit.
lucky. Yeah.
So. All right. Well, besides looking at it up close, I think that we've talked about it a lot.
Yeah.
Would you recommend it to somebody?
Absolutely.
They're
probably what, $27 now.
They're cheap.
Yeah. So worth it.
You can never go wrong with the UD product. They're very well manufactured. I've never had a UD product that had like a really bad flaw in the manufacturing.
Fair price.
Yeah.
There's always a good fair price. You get what you get. That sucks about your air ring.
It does.
But I don't think that's normal.
No. I think this is just like a one-off kind of problem, probably.
Yeah.
And here's the deal. There's a lot of tanks, especially sub-ohm tanks now, that are just they're going to be more appealing to a lot of people because it's just easier. But for me, I love a rebuildable tank because that's what I cut my teeth on. Same with Josh. I mean, we've been using rebuildable tanks for a long, long time, for years at this point.
And sub-ohm tanks are cool. They're just they're a little cool for me. I like a kind of a warmer vape.
Yeah.
I like a little hotter vape and a vape that I get.
Yeah, so I was going to say the TFUI4 is the closest that I've come to a sub-ohm tank that acts like a rebuildable tank, and it actually has rebuildable sections to it as well. But I am a rebuildable guy, and so things like the Mutation X new tank, I like that a lot. But I think that the Bellus is the one that I'll be using the most, just because I like the way that it wicks, I like the way that you fill it, and I like the way it looks.
Yeah, and it just performs great.
Yeah.
I have no problem with the drip tip that it comes with. I have no, it just works.
Yep.
So, but we have no problem with guys that get into vaping and use a sub-ohm tank. Imagine if you had just started, how easy that would be to use a fucking sub-ohm tank.
I would have used sub-ohm tanks right from the beginning.
All you gotta do is fill it up and vape until it tastes shitty and then change it out. Alrighty, you know what I mean? So we get it. I mean, we totally get it. This is just what we kind of came up on, so.
Yeah. And I think that if you haven't tried them, try them. Because they can be very rewarding when you get them right. And they're wicking perfectly and you can fucking get that good vape. Because the flavor on these, it really puts the sub-ohm tanks to shame.
Yeah,
it just
I think so too.
It just does.
Yeah. Okay.
Alright.
So stay tuned for the uppy closies.
Should we give it a score?
Oh, I could score it. I'm going to give it 9 even.
Okay. I'm gonna say 8.5.
Yeah.
8.5.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
Now, we can jump up close, so you're not going to see us again, but keep your coils tight.
Keep your wicks wet.
Peace out.
Peace.
Stay tuned for the... Alright, here we are looking at the UD Bellus. UD, however you want to pronounce it. This is how it comes in this clear container. It says Bellus on the side. Has your instructions on how to fill, your instructions on how to put it together right there on the back. Let's crack it open. The tank comes fully assembled. Pull it out of the container there. So there's the Bellus fully assembled. We'll break that down here in a second. Give you an extra glass tank piece, which is always helpful because they like to break. And a package of O-rings and spare screws and whatnot. That's it. We totally tore it apart. So we'll put that stuff to the side. All the extras and whatnot. They actually provide quite a bit of extras too, which is always great because I seem to lose a lot of O-rings and those kind of things with tanks like this. Alright, so the Bellus. This tank is remarkably different than most other rebuildable tanks as the coils sit actually right here. Most tanks, the coils are submerged in some way into the liquid itself in the tank. The coils would be up here in the tank section. With this tank, the liquid sits above the coils and kind of gravity feeds to them. It's quite remarkable. So let's start taking it apart. Comes with a drip tip. This drip tip is rifled. I know you can't see that, but there is a rifling inside, and the rifling does carry down through the chamber here. So let's take that apart. Oh, here's another screw. It does come with a couple of coils. I don't know if anybody's actually ever used these coils that come with these devices, but it does come with them. Maybe we'll stick them in here, because I actually took mine out of here to show you guys how to break it all down. Alright. We took off the very top piece, and then right there is where you fill it. There's 2 fill holes. So you don't build up pressure. You just pick one of the holes and stick your little needle nose or whatever in there and put your fluid in. If you only had one, it would build up pressure and you wouldn't be able to fill it all the way. But with the 2 holes, you can actually fill this tank all the way to the top. So it's actually really well designed. Okay, so here we have our AFC ring, airflow control ring. Mine actually spins even after it's locked down with the locking ring, which we have here, which goes on the bottom. That's not typical apparently, because Josh has one of these and it does not spin. But I'll show you guys what I mean when I reassemble it. Alright, so take off the glass tank section. So here, I mean this is like the chamber without the glass section in it. We took the glass section out. It's a very small reduced chamber. We'll unscrew that. We'll put that aside. Here you can see these slots here. This is where the liquid is actually feeds down to the coils and to the wicks. It's a really well done system. And the bottom part doesn't screw in or anything. It just fits in there with O-rings. The deck section. This is the part that covers the deck. This is the deck itself. I do not like this deck. I'm just going to be honest. I find it to be highly constrictive. I love the way that the airflow works by actually coming in on the sides of the coils. The coils are exposed. You can see the coils through this section here. You know, this is where the airflow control would go over. You can actually see the coils through there. But it's just not a lot of room to build on. I found it to be a little troublesome to build on. I love the way that the wicking works because it's gravity fed. I've never had a dry hit. There's never an issue of liquid not getting to the coils because the liquid is fed from the top to down to the coils. So, all right. Let me pause it real quick. Throw a couple coils in here, then we'll put it back together, and I'll show you guys what I mean. All right. Be right back. All right. So here we are. We built a couple of Claptons, and we stuck them in there into this 2-post design deck of the Bellus. I'm not a crazy big fan of this deck. It gets the job done. I would prefer a 4-post deck, but the 2-post works. Place the atomizer housing over the top, like so. Let me find. There we go. You'll line it up with your coils, and you just press fit it in there, like so.
So that was the build. I got it here on something that most people probably will never use their Bellus on, a mechanical mod. I still use mechanical mods for things like tanks. So to give you a little example of what you can expect with a build like that in the Bellus on a 4.2 volt kind of device. That's what I like about the Bellus. It does chuck. It's got a good airflow, and you could stick things like Claptons in there like I got in there right now. So, alright, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you later.